It's just about time for conference play in the Missouri Valley Conference, and the calendar is inching ever close to 2017. And here on the NBC Shootaround, we're going to talk all about it. My name is Derek Dockett, and as always, I'm joined by Adam Immenecker. Adam, Happy New Year, sir, and I hope you're prepared for 90 games, Missouri Valley Conference, and it's time to get going now.
It is. So, Derek, we're sitting, what's today's date? December 23rd. So we're filming this on the 23rd. We'll see when you get it posted. But really exciting non-conference season. I can't believe we're already through 13 games and getting into Missouri Valley play. Arch Madness is just around the corner.
Absolutely. Let's start off by talking about a couple teams that have been making some waves in the conference. Let's start off with Loyola. The Ramblers have actually gotten top 25 votes the last couple weeks. Came up short in their last outing, but there's no mistake about it. They're playing very well in the non-conference part of the schedule, heading into conference play, already picking up a lot of wins in non-conference, and they're showing some real promise as they head into 2017.
Yeah, coming off a tough loss against Toledo, rounding out their non-conference play, but really encouraging with the 10-3 start that we've seen out of them. Now they haven't exactly been tested at a high level, so you look at their wins, and they're playing against mid-major teams, and maybe you could argue toss-up 50-50 games, but the difference this year, Porter Mosier and that crew, they're winning those games. They lost a few in the non-conference in the last few years. We'll see. We're going to learn a lot more about them in the opening maybe week or 2 weeks of MVC play. I'm really looking forward to seeing if the Ramblers are for real.
Absolutely. Another team to give some attention is Illinois State. The Redbirds also, we know all about the athleticism that they have, playing really well again. One of those teams that could really make a difference when we get into conference play, looking to finish in the top half of the conference standings.
Yeah, the athleticism has always been there with this team. Sometimes they've had trouble finishing, but they're kind of quietly sitting at 7-3. Haven't heard a lot of fanfare about them early on in the non-conference, but wins against St. Joe's and Fresno State, a few close losses to the likes of Tulsa, Murray State, and TCU. So they've been in all these ball games, just have lost a couple down the stretch. I really like how Deontay Hawkins has played. He's really made a big step up in his game. 50% increases in a lot of the categories, points and rebounds. And even shooting over 40% from three. So he's been able to stretch it out. He was a decent shooter before, but now he's knocking them down with regularity. And then Paris Lee has made a big leap as well. He's scoring more. He's also in a great creator role. We knew he could pass, but scoring close to 15 points a game, averaging about 6 assists, 3 rebounds. And he's even shooting 50% from three. That's always been the Achilles heel of this team, and seems like they figured it out.
And now let's talk about where it really matters now, those conference games kicking off on Wednesday, December 28th. Let's start with Wichita State, Indiana State. Sycamore's got the big win over Butler at home. Yeah. The Shockers, we know all about them. This matchup, a matchup of two teams that are looking to be, real front runners when we get talking about the league race.
Yeah, Wichita State, without question, is a powerhouse, and they deserve to be picked at the top of the league like they have been for the last few years. And even in their non-conference games, man, they're so athletic, they're so deep, they play really hard. On the other side, though, Indiana State, you mentioned the win over Butler. They're just a giant killer. Coach Greg Lansing always has this team ready to play in big games. So they're really, really dangerous. This is actually the game on the opening weekend that I'm most excited to see, just to see how these two battle each other.
And also on the 28th as well, Missouri State traveling up to Cedar Falls to take on Northern Iowa game on the NBC TV network. Bears been a much-improved team. We talked about them a little bit in previous episodes. Northern Iowa had some offensive inconsistencies, but the Bears could make a statement if they go up to Cedar Falls and pick up the win.
Definitely, yeah. I'll call them an enigma. That's kind of what they've been. Watching them, I was at the Big Four Classic here in Des Moines, watching them against Iowa, and UNI just kind of laid an egg. I mean, Jeremy Morgan all year has been absolutely spectacular. He's been lights out on both ends, but they've had a hard time finding guys step up into that second and third role consistently. I look on the other side at Missouri State, 8-4 as we're recording this, a couple close losses too. DePaul, USC, and Valpo, all good teams on a national level. Ronnie Russo, 14 points, 3 assists per game, has really stepped up and helped Daquan Miller take some of the weight off his shoulders, some of the playmaking and scoring and creating. And also Alize Johnson, 13 points, getting 9 rebounds a game. So those two have really stepped up. I like what I've seen out of this Missouri State team. Similar to Loyola, though, it'll be interesting now as they go into conference play. We see those first early big tests. UNI is a great example of that.
Absolutely. The other conference matchups that begin to play Following that on Thursday, December 29th, Southern Illinois will be at Bradley. Evansville taking on Illinois State, and Loyola at Drake. Those games on the Valley on ESPN3 as we open up conference play in the Valley. Adam, it's going to be a fun ride as it all heads every year to St. Louis here at Arch Madness, March 2 through 5. Tickets are on sale now. You can get them through Campus Box Office and through Scott Trade Center. It's going to be a fun ride. 90 conference games to start the league play.
Yeah, everybody. I mean, the beauty of this year, even if you're a team like Drake that struggled early on in a non-conference, everybody starts now 0-0. So if you look on ESPN.com, everybody's in first place. The season begins anew. There's an energy in the air. You got to prove yourself not just once but twice against every opponent.
Absolutely, Adam. Thanks so much for your insight. We really appreciate it. Folks, this has been another episode of the NBC Hoop Shoot-Around, brought to you by Purina. Purina Dog Chow, always crafted in the USA since 1926.